All right.
I don't know Matt Schofield.
Well, you're about to, I suppose.
I came in here for a reason. I want to hear about Matt.
It worked out. Oh, yeah, full house is great.
I know, right?
We got some of the members of Vormir pulling in behind us here too. Yeah, just come on in. All right, so Matt.
Hello.
So I know you infamously from June Body.
Infamously, that makes it sound bad.
And then you're also pulling double duties by drumming for Avery Dakin.
Indeed.
So we gave you a little bit of smack talk earlier today because you were sleeping when actually the original plan was Matt was going to come down without the band, and instead the band came down without Matt. So I'm sure they're going to be bugging him a lot longer than
I got a phone call. Don't you worry. I've already been scolded. So
absolutely, that's fun.
Schofield. There you go.
So for the June Body connection, I had actually interviewed Connor James.
Yes, a couple of times, I believe.
Yes, yeah. So he was the mastermind behind June Body originally, and the last interview, I believe, was when we were talking about the rotation of drummers.
The Spinal Tap situation?
Yes.
Yeah. He legitimately asked me if I feared for my life.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? It's worth it.
Yeah.
So.
The S is for statistic. It's Matt Statistic.
Yeah.
With the reference with Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap.
Really?
Have you seen Spinal Tap, the movie?
Sure have.
So they go through a million different drummers because they all meet some sort of like unfortunate demise of some strange variety. Like one of them spontaneously combusts. Freak gardening accident was another one. Which interestingly enough is even it's in the movie and you think that that's crazy, but that's based on a real thing. Jeff Porcaro from Toto, the original drummer for Toto, died spraying pesticides on his lawn. For real.
Information I did not know.
Welcome to East Coast DNA Music News Podcast.
We
You go deep into the story.
Going deep with Matt.
Oh yeah. Oh jeez.
So
Yeah. We
cut that.
That's the after hours edition. Yeah.
So how long have you been playing with June Body then?
I joined up with them just in the springtime.
Okay.
We were chatting the other day about this, but I'd been a fan of the band for years, really. An old coworker of mine and somebody who I believed also worked with Connor had posted something on their Instagram story that was the EP cover for Life from Underneath, and I was just immediately sort of drawn into the artwork of it. And I was like, oh, this looks like a neat thing, and so I love new music and just getting my ears on cool new stuff. So fired up the Spotify and played it. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is genuinely spectacular. Had no idea they were even local.
Candy, right? It's like
yes, precisely. And I had no idea they were even a local group. And so then I Googled them and found out that they were. I was like, oh, this is awesome. So I immediately, when can I see you? When are you playing? And then it was shortly thereafter that the drummer that recorded that album or EP left, and I had messaged them and were like, when are you holding auditions? I want in, like, let's go. And unfortunately, they had already filled the role. So then 4 years later, when Johnny left the band, Connor messaged me and said, hey, are you
4 years later?
About that, yeah, at least 3, but I think about 4.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and
An impression, my friend.
I well, that's it, right? I mean, hey, there's something to be said for shooting your shot, right? And so I said,
Going deep with Matt.
yeah, we're getting philosophical here on the podcast. Yeah,
Hanging on to that with your Red Bull.
it's gonna be the new recurring segment on East Coast DNA. So then of course I said, oh my God, absolutely. Like, when can I start? So we jammed for the first time, and it was, in my opinion, it felt like magic right off the bat. So it was
How cool was that?
that would have been springtime.
The spring of this year. And
Yep.
so when did you, now Avery became familiar to me through the podcast back around the same time frame, and
Sure.
you're drumming with her now. So is that all coincidence, or did you join her at the same time?
A little coincidence. I joined Avery's group a little before. So Avery, I know Avery through a mutual friend of ours. They used to play together in like live band karaoke stuff, and then he was the guitar player in my my cover band, which Avery actually also plays in. And so I met her through him, and then when we brought her on for this cover band, we played a show. we were talking and stuff, and I said, hey, if you're ever I know you have a drummer, but if you're ever in need of somebody to fill in or whatever, hit me up. I'm down to play anything. And she said, well, actually, as it turns out, we are looking for a permanent drummer. And I was like,
oh, perfect.
great, okay. So it was just sort of one of those things that just materialized out of shooting your shot.
Yeah.
And there you go. And then it just it clicked. It was a lot of fun right off the bat, and we've been doing it. So yeah, that would have been late fall of last year, so around this time actually, that I would have joined up with her thereabouts. So and then actually my first show with her was a Christmas gig.
Awesome.
Outdoors in December.
Oh.
It was the Evergreen Fest, the downtown Halifax. So there you go.
And I don't need to ask if you're having a good weekend so far, because I've already been talking to you, and I've already seen
what gave it away. Yeah.
We were both having a good time, but I'm the one that was up bright and early this morning to do an interview. So I'm sure that we had an equally good time. You're more rested than I am at this point.
I did get a little too much sleep as we discussed, but.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I've had a great time.
So another shameless plug, which Megan's going to go nuts if she watches any of these later. I think I've plugged the show every time. And actually, at Coots, run over and shot behind these guys for 2 seconds.
Yeah, come on, man.
Get right in Matt, just behind Matt for 1 second.
Coots and I grew up in the metal scene together. We did. Way back in the day.
So the
back in the day.
The real reason you slept all day is that you can catch Megan and Coots this evening.
You know it.
1:45 a.m. just down the hall in the Mariner.
You don't think I'm going to be front row center moshing my butt off? Of course. Let's go.
I'm just thankful that there's people that can do that.
Yes.
Because this girl is so past that time. Bless your hearts for doing that. That's pretty awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah. East Coast DNA, sponsored by Red Bull.
And we are probably going to get cut off soon, so I want to give Lisa some time. Matt,
of course,
you're welcome to stick around for a bit.
Of course.
When we shut down this hour, we're going to, for anyone that's following along, I am taking a break, but I have Megan here. I think she's going to take the reins for a few minutes at some point too. So
Incredible.
Stick around, watch our Instagram, and if you're really busy like most of us, come back later and I'll post everything so you can rewatch it.
Incredible.
Right, thanks for stopping by,
Of
man.
course. No, great pleasure chatting.
And if you just want to hand the microphone over to Lisa, we'll just keep going.
You bet.
And like I said, you're welcome to stick around.
To hang out. Like I got in your, so I think you should stay for mine.
You guys are best friends now.
I feel it. I feel like I got a new drummer bestie now. I had no idea. Right? Well, who says? Listen, I grew up with rock. I mean, that's what I've done. AC/DC, Ozzy Osbourne. I've done all that stuff when I was your age. We're not going to talk ages, though, right? No, we're not going to do it. Yeah.
You're like 29, right?
That's right. Again.
Yes, 29 again. I've been telling people, you stop aging at 30.
That's right.
That's 30. You're just locked in.
Yep.
Perfect, because that's exactly what I am now.
Oh, there you go. You are
I
stuck
don't
that
know
way
what you're
mentally
thinking.
for the rest of your life.
Amazing. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going backwards with my age now, and it's because of music, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
I'm not even like joking about that. People will tell me that, like, my God, you look younger all the time we see you, and it's because I love what I'm doing. And I think that goes with anything that you do. If you love what you're doing, you never grow old. You just don't.
Yeah, it does keep you younger.
does.
For your mental perspective,
Yep.
if you're doing what you want to do,
That's right.
you feel the age that you want to be.
You got it.
So it's perfect.
Yep.
And for anyone that is listening right now that wants to know a little bit more about Lisa, we have a full podcast episode out right now on all podcast platforms and our YouTube channel,
Woo.
which we get a little bit more in depth than we're going to have
Exciting.
time for today. But you had your showcase already? Or is
I
it?
did my showcase, my official showcase Thursday at the Crown and Moose, and it was awesome. Dave Carroll was sweet enough to let me use his band for the night because my guys couldn't make it, and they were busy doing some other stuff. They couldn't make it here. So, yeah, Dave lent me his guitar player and bass player, and we had a great night. It was fantastic. So I went to see their show last night. They did a bang-up show again last night. And, yeah, this has been my first actual showcase for Music Nova Scotia. I've never showcased here before.
Yeah,
It's my first one.
glad
From
to have it
Nashville to
behind
Nova
you.
Scotia. Here we are.
So
Made it.
What sent? I mean, we were just talking on like Tuesday or something.
Yes.
But before I get dropped out of this, and I'm not kicking you out of the room. I'm
Oh,
just
we
gonna
talked
get
about the
dropped out.
1937 Martin.
Yes.
Mm.
So there you go, Matt. You can go back and listen to that later, and you'll get the full story behind it.
That's a little tease, so people go and listen to what that's all about.
Thank you
There's a
for that.
story.
And is there anything else this weekend that you want people to go run out and see?
Before I was asked to do a showcase here with Music Nova Scotia, I was asked to do charity event for the Red Cross in Glace Bay.
Okay.
So I'm actually doing that tonight.
Oh.
To raise money for people that were affected with the hurricane here in Cape Breton. So they're raising money through the
But
Red
that's
Cross.
good of you. You got to take off soon, then. Probably.
No, it's later tonight. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm
Great.
good. But yeah, so we're doing that tonight. Hopefully going to raise lots of money. Actually, I announced it during my showcase, and people were actually donating money Friday night
Oh, wow.
to take to the Red Cross thing tonight, which is really cool. Like
That's
somebody
awesome.
gave us a $100 bill.
So if
Like, just
anyone
here you
sees
go.
Lisa in the hallways today, give her a $100 bill.
I don't know. Apparently, I'm taking donations. I wasn't
She's accepting
asking.
$100 bills.
I,
Get 100 lying around.
Yeah.
If you got a hundy, just throw it over. But yeah, I was really taken by that people just wanted to give money when they knew what I was going to do
Yes.
in Glace Bay. So we're doing that. And then tomorrow is the award show, of course. And my album is up for another nomination for Country Recording of the Year.
Hey, good for you.
Yes, best
We'll
of luck.
see. I'm the only female in the category, so gonna
That
try
might
and
actually work in your benefit
take
these
one
days.
home for the ladies. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, I'm rooting for you. You got my vote.
Aw, thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm gonna cut off the stream because it's gonna cut
Yes.
us off in a couple of seconds. But don't leave.
I'm not leaving.
All right. Thank you.
Don't leave.
And I'll talk to you guys in just a second. Thank you, everybody, for following along online. We'll post this later, and there's going to be another one very shortly. Thanks again.